In the vast expanse of space, two planets, Zylon and Vexor, stood at the brink of annihilation. Zylon, a planet known for its technological marvels, had always lived in the shadow of Vexor's military prowess. For centuries, peace had reigned between the two worlds. But that fragile balance was shattered when a rare resource, the celestial core, was discovered on the edge of the nebula cluster, a region of space no one dared to venture. The celestial core was said to possess unimaginable power capable of either elevating a civilization to godlike status or plunging it into ruin. The Zylonians, ever the visionaries, saw the core as a key to reshaping their society, to advancing beyond their current limitations. But the Vexorians, a war-driven race, believed the core's power should be theirs to control. What followed was not just a race to obtain the resource, but a clash of ideologies that would determine the fate of the galaxy. The story begins on the bridge of Zylon's flagship, the Horizon, as General Kale, a seasoned war strategist, gazes out into the dark void of space. His thoughts are interrupted by the flickering hologram of the celestial core, its blue glow casting an eerie light on his face. The Zylon Council had given him a mission: retrieve the core before the Vexorians could. "We have to move quickly," Kyle muttered, his voice steady, yet laced with the weight of the decision ahead. "If the Vexorians reach the core first, it will be the end of everything we've fought for." His crew nodded silently, knowing the stakes. As the Horizon engaged its hyperdrive, the crew braced for the unknown. The journey was treacherous. Through asteroid fields and the chaotic dust clouds of the nebula cluster, they moved forward, guided by the faint signals of the core's energy signature. Meanwhile, on Vexor, Supreme Commander Zara stood in her war chamber, surrounded by maps of the galaxy, each marked with potential battle zones. Zara, ruthless and calculating, had heard rumors of Zylon's intentions. She knew they would strike first, and so she had already deployed her fleet. "Our advantage is the strength of our armies," Zara said, her voice cold yet confident. "The Zylonians may have technology, but we have the resolve to fight, no matter the cost." She clenched her fist, her eyes narrowing as she looked toward the distant stars. Prepare for battle. The two armies, each guided by different philosophies, one of peace, the other of war, now hurtled toward a fateful confrontation. The tension escalates as both fleets approach the nebula cluster. The Zylonians, with their advanced ships and AI-driven strategies, had the upper hand in terms of technology, but the Vexorians were battle-hardened, each soldier and warship engineered for one purpose: combat. The first attack came like a shadow, swift and precise. The Zylon fleet had barely adjusted their shields when the Vexorian forces ambushed them, their ships cutting through space like predators. The Zylonians retaliated with energy pulses, each blast bright enough to blind, yet the Vexorians seemed impervious to the strikes. A fierce battle ensued, the space between the two fleets filled with the echoes of combat. Kale's voice rang out over the intercom. "Hold your ground! We cannot lose the core!" But the Vexorians were relentless. Zara's forces pushed forward, their ships deploying massive drones to board Zylon's flagship. The clash of metal against metal could be heard even through the vacuum of space. Zylon's soldiers fought valiantly, but the Vexorians were unstoppable. Commander Vaughn, one of Kale's closest allies, fell to a Vexorian warrior, his last words a warning. "The war isn't over yet, Kale. We must stop them." As the Zylonians regrouped, Kale and his team managed to board the Vexorian flagship, the Wrath, under the cover of darkness. Inside, a battle of wits unfolded. Zara, aware of their move, confronted Kale in the heart of the ship's command center. "So the great Zylon general arrives?" Zara sneered, her voice echoing in the cold steel of the room. "Do you think you can change the course of destiny? The celestial core belongs to us, to the strong." Kyle's eyes burned with determination. "It belongs to no one. It's not about strength, Zara. It's about survival. If either of us controls it, we both risk destroying ourselves." Zara laughed bitterly. "Survival is for the weak. The strong will dominate." The final confrontation between Kale and Zara was nothing short of legendary. As their forces clashed, Kale's team made their way to the celestial core, but just as they were about to claim it, a cataclysmic event occurred. A massive shockwave reverberated through the nebula as the celestial core unleashed its full power. The core's energy ripped through space, destabilizing the surrounding stars. Both fleets were caught in the chaos, their ships thrown into disarray. The war that had raged for days came to a grinding halt. The armies, now stranded in the vast void, faced a new, shared enemy, the destruction they had wrought. In the aftermath, Kale and Zara stood on the fractured battlefield, their forces decimated, the celestial core now lost to the chaos it had unleashed. The remnants of both fleets floated in the dark void, survivors staring at the ruins of their once mighty ships. Zara, her eyes filled with a rare moment of clarity, turned to Kale. I was wrong." Kale nodded, his voice solemn. "We both were. The core was never meant to be controlled. It was a reminder that power, unchecked, destroys everything." The two commanders, once bitter enemies, now understood that their war had been a destructive illusion, a pointless conflict over a force they couldn't comprehend. And as the stars above them began to burn brighter, casting long shadows on the remnants of their fleets, they knew the true lesson of their war, that unity, not power, would shape the future. The future of Zylon, of Vexor, and of the galaxy itself.